Every time markets start rewarding the wrong metrics, a silent crisis unfolds right beneath the surface, one that chokes opportunity, strangles innovation, and wastes raw human potential. Imagine this. The metrics that shape decisions, that steer capital, that tell investors what to celebrate and what to ignore, suddenly become blind guides. They reward what's easy to measure, what fits neatly on spreadsheets, and what looks good in quarterly earnings reports, while the actual drivers of long-term value, of true progress and real impact, sit buried, ignored, unseen. It's not just poor judgment. It's a systemic failure that costs more than money. It costs vision. It costs souls willing to break free and create something meaningful. This problem is not abstract. It's personal. For professionals, leaders, and investors who refuse to settle for mediocrity, it feels like a daily struggle against invisible shackles. The pain is real, watching brilliant ideas get discarded because they don't fit the checklist. Seeing companies chase short-term applause instead of building lasting strength. Feeling trapped in a cycle where quick wins blind you from the long game. There's frustration, even anger, a deep knowing that something is broken. And this brokenness isn't just about markets. It's about the story of who deserves success, who gets heard, who gets forgotten. Let's not pretend the pain is simple or distant. It hits hard in boardrooms where cautious voices drown out bold ones. It sneaks into investment pitches where risk aversion kills rare brilliance. It settles in the gut of anyone who's ever tried to change the status quo only to face a wall built from cliches and hollow numbers. The metrics we choose to honor don't just reflect reality, they create it. When they reward mediocrity, comfort, and conformity, that is exactly what grows. And in that soil, innovation withers and true leaders get lost in the noise. So what happens when markets reward the wrong things? They distort reality. They create illusions of value that crumble when tested. They build castles on quicksand and then wonder why everything collapses. Behind every failed investment or missed opportunity, there is a misalignment, a disconnect between what's measured and what matters. It's like watching a ship steer by stars that no longer exist. The signals are all wrong, the compass spins, and the damage multiplies. But here's the raw truth that's often overlooked. The problem is not metrics themselves. Metrics are tools, mere reflections of what we choose to measure. When the wrong metrics dominate, it reveals a deeper issue. What's truly missing is clarity on what's genuinely valuable. What's missing is the courage to question what has been accepted without thought. What's missing is a network strong enough to realign values and amplify the rare, the exceptional, the misunderstood. This is where things get interesting, and where the lost fuel for real progress lies. Because if the system is broken, if the market's heartbeat favors noise over essence, then the real solution is to change what we listen to. Instead of mass market approval, listen to distinction. Instead of chasing trends, chase transformation. Instead of following safe paths, blaze new ones. The power to shift lies not in another conventional tweak, but in embracing a radical redefinition of what success means. The fix starts with rejecting comfort. Yes, that familiar, seductive safety net that quiets the fire within you. Those who dream bigger, who refuse the easy validation of flawed metrics, are the very ones who can break this cycle. This is not about fitting in. It's about becoming uncommon, about developing a sharp, fierce sense of sovereignty over your own vision. The power to transform markets doesn't come from following consensus. It comes from questioning it, dismantling it, refusing to play by rules designed for the average. So how can investors and leaders reclaim their power? First, by demanding depth over surface. Instead of buying into flashy numbers or herd-approved signals, dig deeper. Seek out the invisible forces driving real value, the quality of leadership, the uniqueness of the network around a venture, the resilience of its mission beyond profit. Look for clues in how adaptability, creativity, and genuine connection fuel endurance, because these are the metrics the system rarely tracks but always depends on. Second, Embrace patience like it's your most precious asset. The market's addiction to instant gratification is its Achilles heel. The true trailblazers know that lasting success is a long game. This means being comfortable holding positions others run from, thinking beyond quarters and fiscal years, nurturing ideas that might seem odd or risky today, but have the DNA to remake tomorrow. Patience allows you to see past the noise, to sense shifts before they become obvious, and to support those rare sparks that many miss. Third, invest in what you cannot quantify easily. Courage, integrity, vision, and the tenacity to stand apart. These are not tabulated in reports, but live in the story behind every successful breakthrough. These qualities build ecosystems where the exceptional thrive, where the misunderstood find allies, where misaligned brilliance becomes collective power. When markets start valuing these qualities, they stop simply chasing profits and start fostering progress that matters. Here's where it gets deeply personal. If you feel a restless tension inside, a quiet storm telling you that the current system is broken, a feeling that you were made for more than just explaining ROI charts or following mainstream playbooks, then you're exactly who this message is for. That tension is not a curse, it's a call. It's an invitation to step off the treadmill of mediocrity and build a new path. A path where honesty, depth, and true value lead, not the flashy numbers or convenient lies. This is about rewriting the rules from the ground up, not by convincing everyone, but by uniting those who dare. Those who refuse easy answers and demand rigor mixed with soul, by aligning with the few who burn as brightly as you do, and together, creating a force so powerful that outdated systems crumble. This network, this movement, is where true freedom lives. The freedom to be sovereign over your time, your choices, your impact. Where leadership means crafting realities, not just chasing them. Where every insight is a weapon against complacency. There is no easy way around this. The system that rewards wrong metrics is built to preserve itself, comfortable, predictable, dull. But those trapped by its logic are not powerless. They hold a secret weapon, the ability to be relentlessly critical, to question everything, to refuse to settle for surface answers, and to transform their perspective ruthlessly. To embody the change rather than preach it. To build patiently and deeply, knowing that true sovereignty is a long game. Here's what's different. This isn't a call for conformity or a new set of rules to obey. It's a call for radical individuality, where freedom means mastering your own will and connecting fiercely with others who share your fire. It's about honoring difference, exploiting contrast, and burning away the illusions that hold us back. It's about recognizing that the greatest strength comes from those rare connections that most markets ignore or suppress. True liberation begins when you stop looking for permission and start building your own reality. When you reject the facade of freedom sold by systems that entrap with comfort and lie about equality. When you remember that the power to remake markets, industries, and societies does not come from the many, but from the few brave enough to challenge it all. This is where real investing begins, not just in companies, but in ideas, in connections, in the untamed potential of the human spirit. The markets will always have those who stick to safe metrics, short-term thinking, and surface appearances. But the future belongs to the ones who understand the hidden currents, the ones willing to sacrifice convenience for transformation, to go deeper, to hold fast, and to fight for value that no spreadsheet can capture. This is not just investing, it's creating, building, becoming. So if the world has frustrated you, if you felt the sting of being misunderstood or misaligned, know this: you are not alone. But also know that you cannot wait for the system to fix itself. You are the fix. Your choices, what you measure, what you value, who you connect with, are the seeds of breakthrough. And when those seeds take root in the right fertile ground, in networks that amplify essence rather than noise, the impossible becomes inevitable. This is your moment to refuse false metrics, to escape the comfort of being average, to seek the rare, the deep, the authentic, To become sovereign over your investments, your leadership, and your impact. To join the few who are already reshaping the future, not by asking for change, but by embodying it with fierce, unrelenting clarity. Remember, the world never needed more followers. It needed fewer, but stronger. This is the path of the rare, a path carved not by convenience or guesswork, but by relentless truth-seeking and patient crafting of what matters. When markets finally reward the right metrics, those that honor depth, courage, and connection, the cycle breaks, the system shifts, and the future unfolds in ways we can barely imagine. Your fire is not meant to be buried. Don't let the wrong metrics kill it. Align with those who see beyond the surface. Invest not in what's easy to count, but in what's impossible to ignore. The power is yours. Ignite it.